weaving the crosses. With this pattern we've got acquainted by Alice Elinok with her detailed photo tutorial. Margarita has many articles where she's used this pattern, and she has shared many points and details with us. But because our goal is to collect as many video tutorials as possible on the site, we've decided to shoot the lesson on this pattern as well, because it is becoming more and more popular. And we feel like making it easier for you, because it is easier to train following video tutorials. So thanks a lot to the girls. Let's continue their topic. We've woven 2 rows in the technique of a rope. Now let's pass to crosses. It is very convenient to weave crosses embracing 2 tubes at a time. Here there were 2 tubes we were working with. Let's straighten them, and they will become the tubes of the base we are going to weave round with crosses. So, for starting the crosses, I insert 1 tube underneath, the second one above. Here there will be the place of passing, we will cut it later. For the first time you can glue it, but I try to avoid gluing at the moment. So, I lead the tubes of the base behind the second tube. As for the crosses, we are going to form them in front of it. This is our first tube, and our goal is to lead the white tube behind the second tube of the base. Got it. Now take the lower tube and place it above. It is easier. That's all, the cross is formed. We embrace 1 tube above, and again we lead the tubes of the base for the cross behind the next one. And again we start from the upper one to get all the crosses even, and lead it in front of the second one and behind the third one. Got it? And now involve the lower one into work, which is easier. The lower tube always goes above. Got it. Embrace the next pole with the basic tubes and lead the tubes of the base behind the next one. Again, the wire tubes stick out from above and from underneath, form the cross. You can press it a little in front of the first one and unfolding the tubes of the base behind the second one. Press a little to avoid big gaps. Place the lower one into its place. Let's try once again without words. Make sure they don't twist with each other, and these two tubes of the base are parallel. Here the longer the tubes are, and the fewer times you lengthen them, the easier it is to weave, but lengthening is not a problem either. At first the upper one, make it lie even, with the lower one finish forming the cross, and continue this way up to the end of the row. So we have woven the row. Then the varieties and details are possible. If you would like to get the pattern like this, where the crosses are unbroken, in rows one over another, then we continue weaving in the technique of crosses. The passing goes as it is, we just continue working. And there is one more point. If there is an even number of the poles, then the crosses are placed one over another. If the number of the poles is odd, then the crosses shift and they form a kind of interesting pattern as well. Unfortunately, I have no article to show you at hand. The box woven in this technique was sold at the fair, but in my opinion it is even more interesting. Or there can be other varieties. One row is woven in the technique of crosses and 2 rows between them in the technique of rope. Here it is regular rope, here 1 row of a regular rope and the next one of the opposite rope. Here the number of the poles is even, the crosses are placed one over another but with some intervals between them. So here you can play with varieties as well. So continue weaving. We have woven the first row in a regular rope, the second one in the opposite row, and finish in the same way. In the end, for symmetry, you can make the regular rope, opposite rope, and in the very end, the 3-tube rope, which will make the beginning and the ending of the work look symmetric. Now the nuances. The crosses can be situated one over another, or as on a chessboard. It is one point. The second point. The tubes of the base can be single or double, like in this case. There can be 3 tubes, then the cross will be higher, but in this case you would have to add 1 more tube when beginning to weave. Well, actually that's all regarding the nuances. So we have 4 rows of crosses, finish in the same way as we were starting. Here you can cut and then glue our crosses. We finish with the same tubes we were starting to weave with, passing to regular rope. It is the way the crosses woven on the even number of the poles look in unbroken rows. Here you can see the way they look if there is a rope woven between them. And here you see how the crosses woven on the odd number of the poles look.